That's what the Republican Party stands for: less government, lower taxes, so we can allow the free market to flourish. And I think that's what we're going to achieve in this bill.
President Trump says no tax on Social Security. Is that going to end up in the bill, no tax on Social Security?
Yes, we're checking all the boxes. He promised no taxes on overtime, no taxes on Social Security, no taxes on, for example, interest on car loans that are made in America. A number of those things are woven into this bill, and we've made all the math work so we can do that.
Speaker of the House Mike Johnson just laid out President Trump's bold new economic bills, slashing burdensome taxes, freeing up cash for hardworking Americans, and firing up the markets. And we're talking about a plan that finally honors the values of freedom, hard work, and prosperity. President Trump's tax cuts are nothing short of revolutionary. These bills are set to eliminate taxes that crush the middle class and small businesses. We're talking no taxes on tips, right? A huge win for waiters, bartenders, anyone in the service industry. No taxes on overtime pay. So if you're burning the midnight oil to provide for your family, you'll keep every penny. And no taxes on Social Security benefits, giving our seniors the respect they deserve by letting them keep more of their hard-earned retirement. And get this, a tax deduction for interest on auto loans for American-made cars. Well, it's not just a break for car buyers, it's a boost for American workers building those vehicles, like Detroit. This $4.5 trillion tax cut plan is about letting you keep what you earn, plain and simple. And it also pours hundreds of billions of dollars back into the American economy. I mean, these tax cuts mean more than just extra cash in your paycheck. When Americans have more money, they have more to spend on homes, businesses, on their kids' future. And the markets, they're going crazy. Investors know what's coming: growth, jobs, and prosperity. Businesses are ready to hire, expand, and invest, and that pushes stock prices higher, creating wealth for folks who get in on the action early. Now, Trump has also been cutting through government red tape, freeing up businesses to innovate and grow. I mean, this is huge for industries like energy and manufacturing and finance, which can now thrive without bureaucrats breathing down their necks. Trump's bringing factories back to American soil with tariffs on imports and tax breaks for industries like shipbuilding. He's got a vision to revive U.S. shipyards, taking on countries like China and putting American workers first. And let's not forget inflation. I mean, even again, Speaker Johnson shared on X that inflation's dropped to a 4-year low thanks to Trump's leadership. So, what does this mean for you, the hardworking American? Trump's policies are building an economy that rewards grit and determination. But here's the hard truth: if you don't act now, you're going to miss the boat. The economic surge from Trump's policies is happening as we speak. Markets are moving, and the early birds are already cashing in. If you're sitting there thinking, I'll wait till things calm down here a bit, you're setting yourself up to watch others prosper while you're left behind. When the markets jumped after Trump's election, those who saw it, who invested early, they saw huge gains. The same thing's happening right now with these tax cuts and economic wins. Waiting could mean missing out on life-changing wealth. Don't let fear or indecision hold you back. This is your moment to take control of your financial future and ride the wave of Trump's economic boom. And I know someone who can help you do just that. Joining me today is my good friend Troy Noonan. Troy is one of the best trading experts on the planet and has helped hundreds of Turley talkers become financially free through his training programs. Gang, you have got to check out how Troy does this and how you can do it too. He's an amazing teacher. Let me tell you, I sat in on many of his sessions. Just click on that link in the description or scan the QR code and book a call with Troy and his team. You can even attend a free webinar as well. So Troy, welcome. Great to see you as always, my friend.
Thank you. It's always good to be here.
It's always good to have you. So, I mean, Troy, you're on the front lines of this. So what's really happening here with Trump's economic policies and how are they reshaping the financial landscape?
Yeah, I mean, that's a good question because there's a short term that we're all experiencing, a lot of market volatility, a lot of uncertainty. There's the push me, pull me from, those that are for, those that are opposed. And that's always going to happen, right? That's what makes a market. That's what pushes
Right.
prices up and down. And that's also what gives us amazing opportunities to prosper because, as you know, I'm more interested in trading than in investing.
Right.
And so these are great opportunities immediately that one could take advantage of if you just learn a few techniques, right? So the way it's shaping the financial landscape is a story that's unfolding before our very eyes. And I don't think there's anyone on the planet that really knows what the ultimate end result will be. We could always put the odds on our side and take our best guesses, but in the end, it's the market will tell us. And so that's why I like trading as keeping it separate from this idea of investing, right? Because with trading, you can look at a price, the price moves and it can't hide. Like everyone can see it. And now the average person, the home trader, which is what I consider myself to be, and I'm sure all your listeners mostly are either that or want to be that, or if they do want to be that, you could know everything that everyone else knows. It's just right there. It can't hide. And so when you learn how to identify certain price patterns that you see happen over and over and over because it reflects human nature, then it doesn't really matter. You don't have to worry about whether you're right or wrong. You trade this pattern where you can predict the likely outcome that's immediately going to happen next. And you can get in, get out, grab your money, and be safe on the sidelines. When all that crazy volatility is happening, you're not at risk, but you're jumping in and jumping out at the right opportune time. So that's what trading is. So as you know, that's always my point of view, because I always feel that that's what could really help the average person the most, is understanding that.
Yeah, I must see like investing as sort of a macro strategy, sort of long term, and then the trading, which you're doing, is micro, and they seem to
Yeah.
complement each other very well in that sense.
Totally. I mean, certainly, I'm not saying someone shouldn't invest, but there's all kinds of investments.
Right.
Real estate, collectibles, stocks, options, crypto. I mean, you name it. Antique cars. I mean, investments can come in many forms, right? So I'm a believer in having a good balanced portfolio and having some good investments in a variety of places. But the trading is what you can use to really supercharge your financial wherewithal, like right now. I mean, you could really take advantage of these moves and improve your financial situation without waiting for the investment to pay off at some point down the road, or not, because again, you still don't know for sure. Right.
Yeah, no, you made me a believer in trading. That's for sure. I mean, before I met you, I was like, I don't know, trading's for these, white collar experts, kind of that sort of thing. And then I meet you, and I mean, I know you do that part, or you've done that part, but what I love about the backpack trading lifestyle that you talk about is, no, as long as you got a laptop and a little know-how, and that's where you come in, you can be doing this too. You demystify trading, which is I think is really important. I want to come back to that, but before that, just at another like macroeconomic perspective, what do you think's the main? I mean, what are the main differences between the way Trump and the Republicans are approaching the budget and the economy and so forth, as opposed to what we had over the last 4 years? I mean, we had obviously sort of a deference to more taxes. We had the problem of inflation, the cost of living. We had a deference to regulation. Why do you think Biden and his team were attracted to that, as opposed to what Trump is doing? What's sort of the key difference between the two?
I mean, philosophically, the Democrats believe in big government, right?
Right.
And the
Yeah.
Republicans believe in smaller government from a philosophical point of view. So, smaller government means that we're empowered as individuals to make our own decisions, whereas big government is, the government, they try to put regulations in to put things in place to protect us from ourselves. Or, I mean, some regulations we actually need. I mean, I'm not
Sure,
saying,
of course.
obviously we want clean water, clean air, and we want to, safe food, and there's things that are really good. But
And
like
protect our nuclear weaponry. And
you think that might be a good idea? But I mean, some regulations are just asinine. Like I'll never forget, as a result of the .com boom and the .com bust, is a long time ago, right? Some people don't even remember that, but I was learning how to trade during
90s.
that period.
Yeah.
I mean, I was the backpack trader was becoming an adolescent in those days. But anyway, this regulation came about to protect traders from themselves. It's called the pattern day trade rule, where if you have under $25,000 in your trading account, you couldn't place 3 day trades within a 5-day rolling period. Like, what's that mean? And I found myself in this situation when I was early in those years, right? When I needed to get out of a trade to cut my loss and get into a trade to catch this nice big move based on what my system was telling me. And I got out of the trade, okay. But when I went to get into the trade, it was like, can't do it because it would have been the 4th trade within a 5-day rolling period. And then they froze my account and this and that. I'm like, who came up with that idea?
Absurd.
I mean, it wasn't a trader. It's like someone's making regulations and knows nothing about. So I tell this story to kind of illustrate how you got these people in charge making decisions about things that they don't even know about.
Right.
And then that becomes a regulation that's supposed to protect me from myself. So the difference is doing away with stuff like that, I think is probably going to be a big boost because businesses are going to be able to operate better. And, again, some regulations we need to have, but the rest, probably do well without it. I think we made it so far without them already before they were put into place. So,
right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I like the rule. I think he implemented it via executive order. For every one new regulation, they have to find 10 to get rid of, something akin to that, which I love because here's exactly, there are all these hangovers. And I think Reagan said the closest thing to eternal life on earth is a government program. But I think we could also say a government regulation. Once it's there, it's always there. And so, yeah, they have to have some mechanism for spring cleaning. That's for sure. But
spring cleaning is a good way to think.
Yeah, spring cleaning with the regulations, exactly, because everybody should be prospering. Speaking of, so you talked about boosting the economy coming in here on the horizon. So what hope does Trump's economic policies offer for future generations of Americans? What options do they have right now to see successful financial futures? I mean, where are we going kind of long term, and what can we do right now to begin to pivot ourselves to prosper from that?
Well, I mean, there is a step-by-step process to learn how to take advantage of the market moves and to be able to get in, get out, get done, take your money, be on the sidelines so that you can safely sleep at night. And I think that's a skill that for anyone, it's worth learning. You can learn it really easily. I would invite your listeners to attend my free training.
That's right.
Because that'll get you kickstarted on that right path. And there's a lot of information out there, of course, that's confusing. You almost get that deer in the headlights situation where there's so much going on. One thing says one thing, another thing says another, and you don't know what to believe. You could do away with all that clutter and just learn how to focus on some real simple step-by-step processes to follow that you can then repeat, and you can learn that skill. So I think that that's something that someone can do right away to improve their lives. Because let's face it, most people working too hard, either on their career, their job, even their business. Maybe they feel like they're working really hard, but not quite getting far enough. They're always behind the 8 ball, the way the economy has been with inflation and things like that. So what if you can learn a skill that could take advantage of these market gyrations and movements and the volatility that exists? It always exists, really. When are the markets not volatile these days?
Right, of course.
Years. So, and it'll probably be that way for who knows how long going forward. So why not be able to have this, what I call the best business of the world, learning how to trade? It's only you, like you said earlier when we started, your computer, the internet, and some knowledge. And you don't have employees. You don't have customers. You don't have to worry about inventory. You don't have all the headaches that business owners have. You don't have a boss. So you have to show up and sell your time to get them rich while you work like, a slave never getting
You're right.
ahead.
A wage slave, as we say. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So what if you can learn something else that takes an hour a day or less, and you could do it from anywhere, which is what the whole backpack trader lifestyle of freedom symbolizes. And you can learn that skill and treat it like a business. So over a 2 to 3, maybe as much as 5-year trajectory, you could literally change the course of your life and secure your financial future. So that's something anyone can do right now. And it's
Right.
not that stereotypical thing that you see that Hollywood paints about traders and this and that. A home trader could be, I mean, we come from all walks of life, right? We do. So
Absolutely. Yeah.
anyone can do it now. It's thankfully for the internet. Now,
Yeah.
so just to finish your question, long
Yeah.
term, I mean, again, I just think that anyone that tries to predict long term is just, you're just making your best guess.
Right.
And whose guess is better than someone else's?
Right.
I don't know. I don't even pretend to know. In fact, I think the wiser person admits things they don't know instead of trying to know something that's unknowable.
Well, you do have the Kramer curse, right?
Yeah.
You know the Jim Kramer curse, right? You just do the opposite of whatever he tells you to do, and 9 times out of 10, you seem to win. You know.
I mean, go figure. Yeah. Usually, when it's on TV, that means it's already happened. So now you do the opposite, and you'll probably do fine.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, it's too late, right? All the
Yeah.
insiders have already benefited. Can you, Troy, give us a sense? I sat in on some of your training when we were on our cruise in the Mediterranean, which was so awesome. Everybody, all our Turley talkers loved it. Can you just give us a little? I mean, people just click on the link below. They can actually avail themselves of some of your free training. Can you give us a little sneak peek of what to expect?
Yeah, totally. So the first and most important thing is to show people that it's something they can do. Like most people get this idea of what trading is, and it's like this, I could learn how to launch a rocket ship to Mars. They equate it to this like thing that's just so much bigger and more like involved than it really is. And so that's one of the things that right away I show people that no, it's something that you could actually learn, and it doesn't take too long, and you could do it at your own time, in your own pace. Baby steps, one little step at a time gets you a great distance before you know it. And so I try to show people how they could learn this under a position of the opposite of stress. In other words, low key, where you could be relaxed. You should still do what you do in your life, but I think it's smart for everyone to continue to learn new things. All right, I'm like a sponge. I always want to. I know you are too. You want to learn new things, right?
Yeah.
And well, this is something that you can learn, so why not? And so I show people how and why, and they start to get the big picture vision, and it gets them excited, and they want to then start learning the steps. And so I teach people what the step-by-step blueprint is to follow to basically create that backpack trader lifestyle of freedom for yourself, whatever that means to you. So you don't have to schlep a backpack around, but you can.
Right.
It's up to you. So, I mean, that's nice. We don't want another job, right? We don't want to learn another job. We're trying to get rid of our job and have more time to enjoy our lives and live it on our own terms. That's the magic of trading and what it could do for you if you just put a little upfront effort in to learn it. And so that's what my free training is all about.
I absolutely love it. I do. I'm with you. I think our minds are very similar. We're curious. We're naturally curious. We love to learn new things. And what I love about what you're doing is part of this new learning is also learning how to make an income differently than most people think about. Like you talk about just being wage slaves and just being sort of married to the paycheck, and you're like, no, there's a different way. There's this multi-trillion-dollar pot of gold, as it were, out there that is trading 24/7, as it were, and you can tap into that and start bringing some of that, redirecting some of that into your own account. And you just have to learn how. You have to learn how it works, and
you can do it safely. That's the key thing. You're afraid of it, but there's a way to do it safely, and that's what's important to understand.
And I love how you have a program that a computer program, literally, that enables people to practice trading before they put money into the market. They can actually learn how to do this before, like almost like a simulator, right? You learn how to do it on a simulator before you actually take this for a flight, as it were.
Yeah, it's like, who wants to get in the cockpit of a real airplane if you haven't spent time in the simulator learning how to not crash into mountains, right? I mean, that's pretty important. Also, what's amazing about this trading is that you can learn. The way I start people out is really simple. We're all people trying to trade, and I always say people don't make good traders, and there's reasons why. We have to learn certain techniques to evolve, and it's what I call becoming the CEO of your trading business. And then you're operating from a higher point of view, and what that ends up meaning in everyday normal speak is that you learn a technique, right, which is a strategy. My strategy is always show you the trades. You see the whole trade, the entry, the targets, your stop loss. The whole thing is printed on the chart, which is a wonderful tool. But learning how to paint by numbers doesn't make you an artist, right? Learning to play a scale on the piano doesn't make you a concert pianist or a musician. Being a drummer, you're a guitarist, so this obviously we could relate to that. But learning a technique in trading is the same thing. You also have to learn how to become successful with the technique. And that's what most people don't realize. So, and that's what I spend a lot of time teaching. And it involves creating a trade plan. And a trade plan gives us rules to follow so that we know objectively, mechanically what to do. We don't have to interject our, oh, should I, shouldn't I don't know. It feels right. No, none of that plays a role in what we do. It's all very objective. And then once you have a plan, we set out through techniques that I teach in my program to prove it. We could prove the plan will make us money before we risk our money. Imagine what that does. So now you're starting to evolve from that person trying to trade step by step, going through these very tangible things that you do, that you evolve into what ultimately you'll be the CEO of your trading business. And that trade plan becomes your business.
Right.
And so once you got it to where you believe in it because you've proven it will make you money, then you go into the flight simulator and learn how to trade it properly and not crash into mountains so that you could trade it perfectly. And I use this concept called earning the rights of passage, where you earn the right, you get to that step where you could finally start trading real money, but safely with a plan you've already proven. Couple things. One, it will make you money. And two, that you can do it. You can fly it without crashing into those mountains. Right? You learn all that first. And it's not that hard. It's just following steps and doing it, just following it step. And eventually you get to that point where you're no longer that person trying to trade anymore. Your point of view is on that much higher elevated level. And that's the secret to success in trading, in my opinion.
Anyone can learn. Absolutely love it. Yeah, and gang, I mean, Troy's helped hundreds of Turley talkers become financially free through his training program. So you have got to check out how Troy does this and how you can do it too. That's the exciting thing. He's an amazing teacher. Just click on the link in the description below or scan the QR code and attend his free training session and book a call with him and his team. I mean, you'll love chatting with them and seeing what's the next chapter in your financial life. It's awesome. Troy, you're the best. Let's have you back soon. I mean, probably next time we chat, I'm assuming the big, beautiful bill will have passed and we may start seeing some real action in the market, and it'll be exciting to talk to you about it.
Totally will be.
Yeah. Thanks
so
much.
Anytime. I love coming on and chatting with you, Dr. Steve. So
absolutely. You got it anytime.